Ideally, bank reconciliation should be performed daily to make sure bank balance available for disbursement is known. You cannot go by the bank balance given by the bank, as unpresented checks are not considered in the bank balance given by bank. Leobiz expects to capture bank statement electronically so that we can identify in the system itself what bank transactions are reconciled with which of our ledger transactions. Bank reconciliation process involves 6 steps. First step: downloading bank statement from online banking system into excel.cv format and obtain Excel file. Process of details of downloading from online banking system may vary from bank to bank, but pattern will be similar. Step 2 is uploading the downloaded statements to Leobiz system. This can be done by copy-paste functionality, copying Excel sheet and pasting it onto the appropriate Leobiz dialog. Step 3. Matching of transactions by the system. System wills match transactions using check number, value date and amount. For check transaction, value date amount for others. Status will be updated if not matched, and the reason for inability match will be given. Step 4. Interactive matching of transaction. When there are multiple transactions with same value date, amount, system will not be able to match the transaction. User will have to determine which transaction to match. Sometime value dates of bank statement could be different due to posting errors. User will search a week before or after to locate the transaction in the bank ledger. Single transaction are ledger to transaction in bank statement. For example, when loan was repaid, we have made one entry in our ledger for both capital and interest, whereas in the bank statement, there are 2 entries in the bank statement. Therefore, we need to match both entries in the bank statement with our one entry in our bank ledger. Multiple transaction in our ledger, one transaction in bank statement. When fixed deposit was closed, bank has specified the capital and interest in single transaction. Whereas in our bank ledger, we have specified capital and interest in 2 different transactions. We need to match bank transaction with 2 of our ledger transactions. Step 5. Creating bank a third-party originated transactions. There are bank charges and interest which bank has charged which we were not aware, and we need to create them in the bank ledger. We use predefined bank transactions to capture this. There are customer deposits and direct debits which are in the bank statement. We should identify the partner account and generate entries for them from already defined transaction profile for this purpose. One of the quite frequently encountered situation is when you have thousands of customers. They could deposit checks into our bank account directly without informing. They will appear in the bank statement. This situation is resolved by crediting a common open item sub-ledger account named unknown customer and credit that account so that bank reconciling process can be completed. The unknown customer account entries should be resolved subsequently by investigating. Step 6. Producing bank reconciliation statements. On completion of the bank matching all the transactions in the bank statement entry, we could produce the bank reconciliation statement. If the bank balance captured in step 1 does not match the bank balance calculated, bank balance captured in step 1 will be printed.
At the end of day function should be executed, during which time no functions that update registers and ledgers should be executed. If anyone is executing, it will og him of in a 1 minute after giving notice. Inquiry function and report function could be executed, this which will update the exchange rates for next day, create daily ledger for next day for cash balances, set the processing date for next day. On the last day of the accounting period, it will deep date the ledgers of the new accounting period. General ledger, partner ledger, for material management functionality, book balance ledger, physical balance ledger, foreign currency buy and sell rate used for revaluation. Change exchange rates. to be used in journal transactions involving journals and validate funds transfer transactions. Interest realization. 2. Debit credit interest accrued not debited or credited to the account whose payment or received dates falling on the given date, debiting crediting interest accrued not collected paid, and crediting debating payment method. Rent realization. 2. Debit credit rents falling due for payment on the given date, debiting crediting payable and crediting debating payment method. Amortized lease rental transferring loan installments. Any term installment falling due will be debited or credited to current due, crediting debiting capital and income. Invoice recurrent jobs. Some of the jobs are recurring nature and will have to debited or credited that need to invoiced. Process recurrent transaction. Any recurrent financial transaction will have to be posted. Automatic open item matching. For a given subledger, this function will set off the debit and credit based on dates, unsettled credits against debit for assets and unsettled debits against credit for liabilities based on the dates. Allocate common expenses to cost centers. For a given accounting period, will distribute expenses debited to general cost center to other cost center in percentages specified for each GL account. In this example, electricity expense should be distributed to sales and marketing, production and admin department at 35, 35 and 30% respectively. Commercial depreciation. Using the fixed assets maintained in the system, this will generate monthly depreciation entries debiting depreciation expense account and crediting provision of depreciation. Interest accrual. For all interest-based investments and loan accounts, system will accrue interest based on the specified interest rates, crediting a debiting interest income expense and debiting crediting interest accrued not realized account. Rent accrual. If there are property rental agreement maintained in the system, it will generate rental income expense accrued entries debiting crediting rental expense income account and crediting debiting renatal accrued not realized accounts. Transfer AR/AP account status. Individual subledger account balances will vary from debit balance to credit balances and vice versa during the period. At the end of accounting period, a bank account that is overdrawn should be reported under a liability general ledger account. Otherwise, it would be reported as negative under asset account with other bank accounts reducing the asset. It will be then understatement of both asset and liability. At period end, this functionality transfers such account to liability account and revert it back to asset at the beginning of the next accounting period. This parameter definition shows which general ledger account debit and credit accounts should be reported at the period end. Close accounting period. This process will generate an entry creating debit GL entry for profit in the P&L account and credit entry for retained profit and loss. This also will prevent any accounting entry being posted to the period after this. This will ensure that profit and loss statements will not be changed once the management reports are prepared and distributed. Any missed entries will be included in the next accounting period as prior period movements. However, to cater for entries to be included in the current year's accounts for entries posted after management reports of the last accounting period up to 3 special periods can be included in the accounting period definition to process. Entries posted in preparing the draft accounts of the company, drafts accounts of the group, if it is part of the group, audit entries created by auditors. It will be easier to identify how entries are posted after the last management report. Without closing previous year's special periods, current year's normal accounting periods can be closed.